Good morning, grade 3. Welcome to the English class. In the previous class, we learned the poem The Way of Nature. Today, we'll see the exercise from the chapter. Before that, I suggest you read the poem once again and then come to the exercise part. So, the first exercise is reading comprehension and it is to fill in the blanks. We can see 4 sentences given there with blanks in between. You have to fill in the blanks with appropriate words from the poem. So, let's see the questions one by one. The first one, we have dash and dash because the earth rotates around the sun. We have day and night because the earth rotates around the sun. Because in the poem, we have the stanza, the earth rotates around the sun. It causes day and night all long. That's the way of nature. So, from that stanza, let's fill up the blanks here. Now, the second question, the dash and dash shine at night and give us light. So, in the fourth stanza, you can read the lines. The stars and moon pop out at night and there they glow with all the light. That's the way of nature. So, from these lines, let's write the answers here. The stars and moon shine at night and give us light. The question number 3, clouds clash together in the sky and make dash. So, the fifth stanza reads, the clouds in the sky that look like sheep, they clash together and thunder sweeps. That's the way of nature. So, what is the answer here? Clouds clash together in the sky and make thunder. The fourth one, the mountains are of dash sizes and colors. Some are so dash, they look like they touch the sky. So, in the last stanza, we can read the lines. The mountains high could touch the sky of different size and colors. That's the way of nature. So, what is the answer here? The fourth one, the mountains are of different sizes and colors. Some are so high, they look like they touch the sky. So, I hope these questions are clear to you. Now, let's move on to the next exercise. It is, in pairs, draw a picture for each part of the poem. So, here you can see 3 columns. The first column will give you the stanza number. In the second column, a space is provided and you have to draw a picture of what is described in the respective stanza in the space here. And in the third column, you can see what the poet has described in that particular stanza. So, you can do this as an activity or as a homework. Now, let's move on to the next section. Section C. Read these sentences and answer the questions that follow. So, let's see the questions one by one. Question number 1. They feed you. A. Who is the poet talking about? So, the poet is talking about trees. Now, question B. How do they feed us? So, how do the trees feed us? The trees feed us by giving us delicious and healthy fruits. Now, question number 2. See them play. A. Who is the poet talking about? So, the poet is talking about animals and how they are playing in nature. Now, question B. What do they do after play? So, after playing, what do these animals do? The animals go their own way after playing. Now, let's move on to the next section. It is the vocabulary section and it is about simile. So, what do you mean by a simile? See, a simile is an expression that is used to compare 2 different things using words such as like or as. Like when you say, she is as innocent as an angel. Life is like a box of chocolates. So, these are examples of similes. See, where do we use these similes? These similes make our spoken and written English sound clearer, nicer and more poetic at the same time. And native speakers use similes often. Now, here in this exercise, you are asked to fill in the blanks with similes. Now, here in your textbook, page number 103, there is a note given about similes. Let me read the note to you. The clouds in the sky look like sheep. We can also say the clouds in the sky are as gentle as sheep. The highlighted parts of these sentences are examples of similes. See, which are the highlighted parts of the sentences given here? Look like sheep, as gentle as sheep. These are examples of similes from lines in the poem. So a simile is a way of comparing two unlike things, and we use like or as to make such a comparison. So below this note you have the next exercise. So here in this exercise you can see a few sentences are given. These are similes. And you can see blanks here and a few pictures are also given here. You have to choose the correct word from the pictures given here to complete these sentences here to make them as similes. For example, the first one, nature is as busy as a bee. So similarly, try to find out the correct words to be filled in here to complete the similes. So you do this as an activity. Please pause this video, finish the activity and come back. Hope you are done with that activity. Now let's discuss each question one by one. So the first one, nature is as busy as a bee. Awesome and as wise as an owl. Time ticks by as graceful as a swan. Under the ocean, beyond the sky, as quiet as a mouse. Remember to fly, always as free as a bird. Every day, look, listen, feel, breathe, nature deep. So, you see these lines, this is a small poem and this is a poem about nature and the living beings in nature. And did you notice the first letters of the words in the lines of this poem? And the first letters of the first word of each line makes the word nature, which is the topic of this small poem. So such a poem is called an acrostic poem that you will learn more about later in this class. Now let's move on to the next section, and here there is a note about pair words. And what do you mean by pair words? See, some pairs of words are always used together, and these words are usually joined by the word and sometimes we also use or to join these words. So such words are called pair words and you can see a few examples here. See the words day and night. These day and night are used as pair words and they are joined by the word and. Bread and butter. The words bread and butter are joined with the word and bread and butter are pair words. Rain or shine. Rain and shine are pair words joined by the word or. And we have right or wrong. Right and wrong are pair words which are joined by the word or here. So these are examples of pair words. Now the next exercise is about pair words and it is join the words that go together. You can see a table here. There are two columns. In the first column you have a few phrases and in the second column or the column to the right you have a few words given. You have to choose the correct word from the second column to match the phrases in the first column. So together they will make pair words. For example, the first one, pots and. Here we have pans. So pots and pans. They are pair words. So similarly, find out the correct matches from the table and complete the exercise. You do this as an activity now. Please pause this video, finish the activity and come back. Hope you are done with that exercise. Now let's discuss each question one by one. So the first one we have already said. The first one is pots and pans. The second one, the correct matches needle and thread. The third one, knife and fork. Fourth one, nice and easy. Fifth one, milk and honey. So children, I hope you got all the answers correct. Now let's move on to the next section and it is the writing section and here you are going to learn more about acrostic poems. So what is an acrostic poem? An acrostic poem is a type of poem where the first, last or other letters in a line spell out a particular word, phrase or sentence related to that topic. And the most common and simple form of an acrostic poem is where the first letters of each line spell out the word, phrase or sentence. And here in your textbook, you have a note and you have an example acrostic poem given there. Let's read that poem. and the topic of the poem will be the name of the poem, name of an acrostic poem. See, here the lines are: so many scents and colors everywhere, perfume from the flowers in the air. Roses and marigolds smell so sweet, ice is gone, summer songs we meet, nature preens and twirls in delight, girls and boys play day and night. Now, through these lines, the poet is describing about spring, and the topic is spring, and hence the title of the poem is also spring. And did you notice the first letter of the first words of each line? The first letters form the word spring, S-P-R-I-N-G. So such a poem is called an acrostic poem. And here a question is given. Now write a poem about yourself using the first letters of your name. Use a few similes and words that goes together. So here you are asked to write a poem about yourself, and what would be the name of that poem? The name of the poem would be your name itself, and you have to start each line of the poem with the letters of your name. So you do this as an activity. Once you have written the poem, you can take a picture and send us through Teams. So let's move on to the next exercise. It is an activity described there, and it is an activity about day and night. Let us understand why we have day and night on Earth. So it is an experiment described here, and for this experiment you'll need a torch and a globe. So let's see the method. In the dark room, shine the torch on the globe. Spin the globe slowly till the torchlight shines on India. It is daytime in India. Can you find two countries where it is night time? Spin the globe again. The countries that are in dark will move towards light. So we all know why do we have day and night. Why? Because the earth rotates on its own and revolves around the sun. So if you have seen a globe, you know all the places on earth are marked on a globe. So for this experiment, you are asked to sit in a dark room with a torch and shine the torch towards the globe and spin the globe till you can see India in the torchlight. Now it will appear that it is daytime in India, and on the other side of the globe it will be dark. So the countries which are on the other side of the globe will be having night. So with this experiment, you can easily find out which are the countries that will have night when it is daytime in India. Now you keep spinning the globe and you'll see that the countries which were in dark or the countries which are having night time will move towards daytime or daylight. So this is a simple experiment that will help you to understand better how a day or night is happening. Let's move on to the next part. The next exercise is My Word Bank, and here you have to write the new words that you have learned in this poem. So which are the new words you learned in this poem? The first word is cluster. To cluster means to grow in groups. So cluster means growing in groups. Sieves. Sieves means flows out. To sieve means to flow out. So these are the new words that you learned in this chapter. You have to note down these two words in your notebook. Learn their spelling, learn their pronunciation, and also learn to write one sentence each with each of these words. And you can write these sentences in your notebook itself and take a picture and send us through Teams. So children, we have come to the end of the chapter, The Way of Nature. I hope the poem and the exercise were clear to you. So that's all for today. We'll see you in the next class with a new chapter. Till then, bye.